Akron. We are back, and I get to hang out with Sam Chestnut. Hi, Sam. How are you?
Doing well this morning, thank you.
Good. Sam is actually the head of school for the Lippman School and the chief program officer for Jewish Akron, correct?
That's correct.
All right. So for people who've never heard of the Lippman School and Jewish Akron, but we'll start with the Lippman School, just give us like the 20-second rundown of what it is.
Sure. It's a transitional kindergarten to 8th grade private school in town. We're built on Jewish values and a foundation, but the school is very multicultural, sits in West Akron. About 45% of the kids are Jewish and the rest not. They sort of represent the whole diversity of the West Akron experience. And kids come from further than that also, but that's sort of the
perfect. Actually, I was telling you before the show, I actually went there for 3 years, a long time ago. I'm not going to tell the audience when I went there, back in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grade, and it was a great experience. And that's actually why my mom sent me there, was that she just wanted me to have some diversity in my life, you know, and it was a great experience. So, so we're going to move on to Jewish Akron. Go ahead and share a little bit about that.
Yeah. So Jewish Akron is the umbrella organization over the full campus, where the Lippman School sits, the Shaw JCC sits, Jewish Family Services there, Bethel Congregation is there, and they're the sort of the umbrella management association of that organization, and they do some important work in the community as an advocate for the Jewish community. They do programming community-wide, which is part of my role there. They're doing community relations, etc. So it's a wonderful resource in Akron, and it helps keep our Jewish community kind of connected and speaking with one voice at times and supporting Jewish efforts in our community.
Perfect. So tell us a little bit about you. How did you get involved in this? What made you passionate about this?
So I've been head of school at the Lippman School. This is my 13th year.
Oh, wow, okay.
And one of the foundational elements of the Lippman School is that there's this concept that while Jewish wisdom and thinking is one way to understand the world, there are other ways to understand the world that from other traditions, et cetera. And it's in the cross-cultural work that I think that students really grow and learn most. And I had a unique connection with the Northern Cheyenne community, a family connection that we've had for about 50 years now. And I spent some time there as a child. And when I became a school leader, I thought, you know, to get kids to experience a culture that's working to maintain their traditions, et cetera, in southeastern Montana, to understand how they live, their history, et cetera, was something that I think other kids should be able to experience. And because I had that wonderful experience as a child.
Absolutely.
And we built this program. It started with our students going to the reservation and spending some time there in Yellowstone National Park, and then we invited tribal members to our community about 11 years ago. So that's been an annual experience every fall.
Wow, how amazing for those students as well. What a cool opportunity. So we're actually here to talk about North American First Peoples Day. So go ahead and share a little bit about that.
Yeah, so when we began this partnership, we did some community-wide learning, and something we started maybe 6 or 7 years ago was a walk on the Portage Path. So many people know, and many people don't know, that in Akron there's a rich tradition historically of Native people in this region, and a very significant path of commerce called the Portage Path that connects Lake Erie to the Cuyahoga River and the Tuscarawas River to the Ohio River to the Gulf of Mexico. So it's an amazing land bridge that connected those two waterways. And right here in Akron, there's lots of archaeology around this. There are markers that Summit County Historical Society helped create this path that's on the Portage Path that recognizes this area. And we thought, you know, let's walk this path.
Yeah, why not?
Let's walk this ancient path with people who are actually originally from the Northern Cheyenne, actually are Algonquin speakers. They trace their lineage to the Great Lakes region.
Oh, wow.
So it's not impossible that descendants of our Northern Cheyenne friends were walking that Portage Path, engaging in commerce with other tribes many years ago.
It's really amazing. I love it personally too, because I have Native American in my background, not Cheyenne, and we've just found out about it in the past few years, and so just looking into that and what that looks like, and people from realizing that I actually have a chief, a Native American chief, 6 generations back, it's just really cool to see all of that history. And even if you're not directly Native American, exposing these kids to all of these different cultures is really beautiful.
Yeah, so two things have happened, well, really many things have happened, but with the city of Akron, we created this North American First Peoples Day that actually formally recognizes all that we're talking about here. Summit County Council also adopted it. So now it's a county-wide celebration of the history and also modern experience and contributions of Native people. So I think what you're talking about in terms of people looking back in their own histories or recognizing that there are Native people and were Native people around us is something that has really accelerated, certainly in this community, in the last 5 to 10 years. And I think even nationally, I think people are paying much more attention to not just the history of Native people, but also the modern contributions of Native people. And what we experience is kind of twofold. One, culturally, it helps you understand a different culture who's trying to keep that their sort of ways of life intact in the forces of American assimilation, which we all kind of experience.
Right.
And then when we look at our own family histories, we realize, wow, there's some rich history here that I can explore that maybe as a family we've sort of not paid attention to, whether that's Native American or other. Kind of those family and traditions are important.
Somewhat, it's because we haven't been able to find it up until recently, with resources and stuff like that too. I know that part of my family was wiped out on Ancestry.com because of the Trail of Tears. And so we couldn't even find it until my mom actually literally was able to track back to the people that were full-blooded Native American. But it wasn't on my Ancestry DNA because of it being wiped out. And so it's kind of amazing that you can now, because of the resources we have, find out about 5-6 generations back and about your history. So if people want to get involved in First Peoples Day, how do they do that? Can they go on the walk with you? What does that look like?
Absolutely. I would point them to a website, walkportagepath.com.
Okay.
On that website, there's all sorts of activities associated with this day, before this day, after this day, and on the walk itself. So, and I'd really encourage people to show up Sunday at 1:30. The walk starts right outside Portage Path Learning Community at Highland Square.
Coming Sunday?
October 1st.
Okay.
October 1st, Sunday.
So not this Sunday, 2 Sundays from now, October 1st.
Yeah, the walk starts at 1:30. I'd encourage people to get there a few minutes before because we tend to start right on time, and we don't have great parking down there, so find some parking and you'll see us gathering there, and the police will escort us on a wonderful walk. And as our friends from the Northern Cheyenne Nation have said, when they walked that path for the first time, it felt like they kind of brought something back to life that had been a living, breathing place for Native people for a long time, and walking that path really does feel quite special.
Yeah, that's really beautiful. Go ahead and share the time one more time, the location, and then where people can get the information.
Yeah, 1:30 on Sunday, October 1st, and go to walkportagepath.com. That would allow them to see all the celebrations happening around this important day, and particularly about the walk itself.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining me here today. I really hope that we have some people watching who are listening and are going to come out and join you guys on the walk. It sounds like a beautiful day.
Great. We hope to see that there.
All right. Thanks so much. Thank you guys so much for watching. We had a great time doing this interview, and we've got more great interviews coming up next, so stay tuned.